I've just returned from an amazing Viking river cruise along the Rhine in Europe and wanted to share with you all the highlights of this fabulous itinerary. We flew into Basel, Switzerland on a beautiful sunny day. We had 2 nights before we embarked on our cruise. Basel is a stunning city with a blend of historic old town and modern upscale shopping. We used the local tram system, which was easy and convenient. We had a great Swiss dinner, including a fondue and raclette. We boarded the Viking Seagrin, welcomed with a beautiful lunch on a warm, sunny day. We were surprised with a walking tour of Basel provided by the cruise line. The great thing about all the included tours with Viking is they provide you with an AudioVox system so that you use headphones to hear your guide throughout the tour. No fighting to be close to the guide to ensure you get all the information they have to share. Sailing out of Basel, we had a welcome champagne toast where we had the opportunity to meet some of the crew along with our fellow passengers. There were just under 200 passengers on board our ship for the next 7 nights, and all were ready to explore and experience. There is one seating for dinner, and you sit where you want with whom you want and where you like. Everything is casual in dress, but the service and food was excellent. We had included beer and wine with lunch and dinner, and were able to enjoy different beers and wines in the areas we were sailing through. Our first stop was in Basel, Germany, where we boarded buses and headed up to the Black Forest, home of the famous cuckoo clocks. You had the choice of going to a cuckoo clock demonstration or a hike into the Black Forest. We chose the hike and then came back to see a Black Forest cake making demonstration and of course have a taste. We headed back to Basel, where you had the choice to join an optional excursion to the medieval village of Colmar or an afternoon free. We went with the free afternoon and went for a wander. We arrived in Strasbourg on day 3. We did an optional food tasting tour through Old Town Strasbourg. The walled city has so much historic charm, and you were looking every which way as to not miss anything. We were taken to a variety of local shops to try their wares, with a stop for lunch at a traditional tarte flambée. The day ended with wine, cheese, bread, and treats at a local wine shop. The next day, we woke up in Heidelberg, Germany. We bussed to the Heidelberg Castle, originally built in the 13th century. The views from here were breathtaking. We then spent a few hours in historic Heidelberg. It was a Saturday, which means we got to feel like a local as so many were out for the afternoon. We also saw a couple of weddings. This all just made the day more magical. We got up the next morning with excitement and anticipation for what is surely the highlight of this trip, sailing through the Middle Rhine. This is an UNESCO World Heritage Site as you pass beautiful vineyards and many castles perched on the top of the hills. Our cruise director shared stories of the castles, as well as the history of the river and its importance in European trade and transportation. What better way to end the day but visiting one of the stunning castles in person? We docked in Koblenz in the afternoon and headed up for a tour of the perfectly preserved Marksburg Castle. Our guide entertained us with stories of what life was like in the 13th century structure, one of the only castles not ever to have been destroyed due to the strong fortification. Day 6, we woke up in Cologne, Germany, headed to the famous Cologne Cathedral towering over the old city in all its Gothic splendor. We were treated to a walking tour of the old city with time to explore the beauty of the inside of the cathedral. The afternoon was free to explore on our own, and we treated ourselves to time in a chocolate museum where sampling is a must. The next day, we spent the morning sailing down the Rhine, watching the landscape change as we drew closer to the sea. We arrived in Kinderdijk that afternoon, famous for its Dutch windmills. We were taken on a walking tour to learn about marvels of engineering and got to explore inside one. That evening was our farewell dinner as we were to arrive in Amsterdam the next morning, and our time on the river had come to an end. Seeing Europe from the river is one of the most spectacular experiences you can have. Not only do you get to see some amazing sights and learn the history of the area, but you're treated like gold, looked after every step of the way. The service, the food, and the ship were outstanding. I can't wait to go back and discover more rivers, cities, history, and people. If you're interested in this experience, I have pricing for select 2020 sailings starting at $33.49 Canadian per person. Call me at 604-746-4041 or email dgreen@maritimetravel.ca for more information on this sailing or any other travel request.